Hey everyone, Jewel back with Truth and Aspect Astrology, and we're continuing our Synastry series today and talking about partner sun through the houses and what that's like. And we're concentrating on the partner sun in the second house today and what that experience brings. So the sun in Synastry really represents how one partner lights up the life of another, where one partner really brings their energy and vitality, their ego, their expression, their warmth to bear in the life of another partner. So the sun in Synastry is extremely important, to see, sun contacts, to planets, but also to see, where one person really brings their light and their warmth and their strength and their power to bear on another person's life. So when we're talking about the second house, this is originally ruled by Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus. And this is a house that represents possessions, daily income, one's values, self-esteem. Sensuality has a lot to do with the second house. Creativity to some degree as well. So when we're talking about this house in chart comparisons, there's always going to be issues of values, possessions, gain, financial security. So when one person's house comes into one person's sun comes into another second house, the house person feels very valued and respected by the sun. They feel that, that their values are shared and they're upheld by the sun because, this other person's energy, the sun is, throwing its support and its warmth and its strength upon, this person's second house, unless the person's sun is in a world of hurt, or they are not handling their sun well, or their sun, is they have issues going on there. If someone's challenged sun comes into another person's second house, they can actually do quite a bit of damage to their self-esteem and to their values and to how the second house person sees themselves. So, depending on how the sun person behaves, this could go either way with this position. Normally, we're going to see this is a positive thing, and typically we would see a mixture of the two, even if, the sun is kind of a jerk. So, the second house is a very sensitive house for anybody because this is how we feel about ourselves. This is how we, treasure our own self. This is the house of self-esteem. This is, really what we base most of how we show up in the world on is how we feel about ourselves. So it's a more sensitive position to have somebody's sun coming into. Usually, it's more of a guarantee of good things if it's the moon that's coming into the second, but the sun, it kind of can go either way, but usually this is a positive thing. The house person typically offers a lot of financial support to the sun. Even if they aren't working and doing the providing, which usually you see this is the case. Usually it is the house person, the second house person that is doing the actual supporting. If that's not going on, typically they're the ones that are paying the bills, actually writing the checks, even if it's the sun that's doing the supporting. The second house person is generally the one that is balancing the books and doing the finances in the family. They express their love for the sun a lot of times through spending and through things that have to do with second house issues, values and money. And also, the second house has a lot to do with sensuality because we have Venus originally ruling this. So, the house person really wants to express their sensuality with the sun. This is a very good placement for relationships because there's a lot of attraction here, both for the sun and for the house person. Because this is, originally, ruled by Taurus. Taurus is a very physical, earthy, sensual, not so much sexual. This is not, the 8th house or the 12th house. This is the second house. So it's really about physical, feel good, massage, sensual pleasures, and sexuality is often wrapped up in that. But it's a very attractive combination to have with the sun and the house in a relationship. Because the second house person wants to express that sensuality to the sun, that part of themselves. And the sun typically responds in a very positive way. They like stimulating that part of another person's life, and being seen as very attractive, and being seen as a person that the second house person wants to show those sensual qualities to. There tends to be a lot of lingerie that goes on in this relationship as well, especially if it's the house person that is the female. There's a lot of expression of sensuality through clothing and lingerie. The sun person really does a lot to help the house person acquire what the house person is after, generally, because there is a shared goal of what they want to get. So, for acquisition, for saving, for being a real financial team in a partnership. This is a good combination for that. The sun person can become kind of dependent on the house person financially. So that's something that can be a negative. The sun increases the values and the self-esteem of the house person. Sometimes they can come to expect too much of the second house person. They can get used to being taken care of a little bit. And the sun can cause the second house person to feel a bit used, especially materially. The sun increases the creativity, generally, of the second house person, and causes the second house person to be able to more easily express their talents a good deal of the time. So this is a really good combination to have in a romantic relationship, and also in a business partnership. This can go a long way. So hope you enjoyed this. I'll be back tomorrow with Sun in Partner's 3rd house. And you can find me on Facebook at Truth in Aspect Astrology, and on the internet at truthinAspectAstrology.com. And I do consultation. I specialize in synastry and relationship and compatibility and intimacy. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.